I'm also a BBA graduate. So when I say I've studied BBA, it means I've studied a couple of things, subjects, and I've acquired a particular knowledge. When you say you're an IT student, you're learning things related to IT. The same thing goes for engineering. And pathways is also something very similar. It is not a degree or anything, but it is more like a life skill that gives you a lot of skill combined in it. So my understanding of pathways and experience so far is that it's like a curriculum. Some of us said it's an educational program. Absolutely, it's the educational program of Toastmasters. It's like a map. So it has a set of things to do. So when we are studying, we start grade 1, then we go to grade 2, right? So pathways also has that levels and that progression. There is a goal, there is an outcome, and the outcome is to become a better leader, a better speaker, and other things that you have set for yourself. Now let's look at what does pathways give you. Now it helps you learn communication and leadership skill. And there is a possibility of building up to 300 unique competencies. There are 11 paths to choose from. I will get into the details of these 11 paths. And Pathways is absolutely online. So no printed material, nothing. You can access it anytime from your computer, from your work, from your school, anywhere. These days we are at home because of the new normal and because of the online nature of Pathways. I think it's become a lot more easier and it's become a leverage of some sort for the members. And Pathways has some real world transferable skills. I think there are a lot of questions that are coming up in your mind as I say these points. Do not worry, we will get into there and I hope I will be able to share something of those. Now, how does Pathways work? What is its setting and what is its core? How do you go about it? So Pathways works through projects. And what you have to do in each project, I'm sure you've seen a few demo meetings where we had featured speakers. Can you give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat box? If you've watched some featured speeches in the demo meeting or in the, I think, why don't you write yes? Because I really can't see everyone because of the, okay, I can see a few thumbs up. Okay, yes, just Nikisha is saying yes. So when you saw those featured speeches, those speeches were given as part of the Pathways manual. So the different kinds of speech you saw, maybe somebody was giving an icebreaker, somebody else was giving a particular kind of speech. So it comes straight from Pathways. And of course, it helps us improve our speech delivery, speech writing, but something unique about Pathways is that it also has moments and projects for self-reflection, for assessment of how we think our leadership style is, our communication style is. There are also opportunities for teamwork, like there can be mini projects inside those speech projects. So in some levels, you have to create a podcast, and some you'd have to create a mini project. So we've had Toastmasters, some of our Toastmasters members take up the public relations role at their club and make YouTube channels, update their Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So these can all be a part of the Pathways project. So it's very dynamic and very wide. Now, I said there are 11 paths, if you remember. So these paths are the core educational curriculum. There are 11 paths on the basis of 11 different unique skills, a combination of skills. And you, as a starting member, you will have to choose one path to begin with. Now, we will go into the details of this path, the first, but before that, each path has 5 levels. So you could think of it like a video game where there are levels. You start from beginner, then you go up. If you remember playing Mario or Temple Run or any of these things, you know, it keeps getting tougher after every level, right? So Pathways is just like that. It's like going from maybe one grade to another grade or one level to another level. So it begins in level 1, which has mastering fundamentals, which means we learn about the fundamentals of speech. So it starts by giving your icebreaker speech, which is the first speech any Toastmaster ever gives from Pathways, where you introduce yourself to your club, where you learn how to organize your speech, what should be the opening, what should be the body, the conclusion. And then you move on to giving your second speech, where you receive feedback from your evaluators and you try to incorporate that feedback, because Toastmaster Saroj said in the general evaluation introduction that evaluation is one of the most important aspects of Toastmasters. So we are learning how to absorb evaluation and improve based on that evaluation. So there are other projects as well in level 1. In level 2, it's about reflection, learning your style. So you get to reflect about what kind of leadership styles do you have. So there could be a couple of assessment, like quiz-like format given by Toastmasters. After you answer those quiz, it will give you a ranking, a score that, your leadership style is maybe democratic or maybe so and so. There are 6 kinds that Toastmasters has used. So it's more about reflection. And after reflecting, you will give your speech based on your experience. So each project results in a speech at the end of the day, but it's not just speech. There are a lot of background action that's happening behind your speech, like reflection, or you might have to do active listening. So you might have to take up the role of table topic masters and listen carefully to what each table topic speaker is saying. So that's level 2. Level 3, the complexity goes a little high because now it's about increasing knowledge. So in this path, there are a lot of elective projects. So there are different kinds of projects that you can choose on. So you can choose to maybe improve on your vocal variety or body gesture or storytelling. So these are kinds of projects that are there. And you can choose whichever you feel like you need the most when you are giving your project, or how would you like to progress further. In level 4, it's about building skills. It's about experiencing with new skills. So sometimes you might have to do mini projects in level 4. Sometimes you might have to do blogging. So it's about learning new set of skills that will eventually help you as a leader and a public speaker. In level 5, it's the final level in a particular path. It's about demonstrating expertise, which means you will be gathering all your skills that you've learned from all the 4 levels, and it will be culminating in a special project or outcome that you will have to develop on the basis of your path.